Hey guys, assalamu alaikum, welcome back to my channel. As you can see in front of you, I made some pasta, and it's not the normal pasta I would make nowadays. It's a tuna pasta, which I made the very first time when I started cooking and had no idea, but this seemed to be our favorite back then, so I thought I'll make it again today as my sisters will be coming over tonight. So yeah, stay tuned and watch how I actually mixed it all in together. We're boiling about 600 grams of the spiral pasta in about a tablespoon of oil and a teaspoon of salt. And we're gonna boil that for about 7 to 8 minutes until it's cooked but not gone really soft. Now get 2 medium onions, and we're going to slice that up into medium slices. We don't want it too thin. This pasta I'm making is the pasta I made when I first started cooking. One of my first pastas, and I used to love that tuna pasta. My sisters used to go around, after I got married, my sisters used to go around in the weekends to stay over, and that's the pasta I used to make. Obviously, we've learnt a lot more since then, but some of the flavours and some of the way we cook food, it brings back memories, and that was about 23 years ago. So in them 23 years, we definitely obviously have improved in cooking so many ways, and we've got so many other different flavors and styles to cook the food. But today I'm going to be doing how I started off with. Sometimes the flavors and the food we eat from back then bring so much nice memories back. Right, so I've sliced them up now. The only change I'm going to make, back then I used tomato ketchup, and instead of tomato ketchup I'm using tomato passatta today. Is it passatta? I'm using that today. Absolutely hate, the tomato ragu, whatever. I hate anything to do with tomato pasty kind of tomatoey flavour, but I'm using that, and obviously I'm going to add more spices to cover up the tomatoey taste. Right, these have been 90% fully cooked, so we're going to drain the water out and we're going to rinse it with cold water. And kept about 1/3 of a cup of the water from the pasta, and we're going to add it on later. Right, I've got cold water there, so these shouldn't be sticking to one another, and as you can see they're really nice, so we don't want them breaking. Now after they cool down, we're gonna get them out of the water. And the reason I've actually rinsed them off with cold water is so it stops the cooking process and doesn't get sticky or stuck together. That's the whole reason. Now in a large pan, I'm gonna heat it up first on a medium flame. We're gonna add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You can use veg, and we're going to add in the onions. We're going to add in a few extra stuff than I first did, because obviously back then I didn't know how to cook really. So I was in the learning process. So we're going to add a few bits and bobs, but it's going to be almost as close to the flavours to what we had back then. Add in your desired amount of salt. I know that looks like a lot, guys, but it's not really. I'm doing a larger portion, or whatever you call it, large amount, because my sister's going to be coming over tonight. So yeah, And I can't really measure with a spoon. You know, the salt, I have to drizzle it down, otherwise I've got no sense of how much I'm putting in. And whilst that's cooking away, I'm gonna drain out the, the brine from the tuna cans. I'm using 2 cans. As you can see now, guys, after about 5 minutes or so, the onions have started browning a bit, and they're still kind of chunky but slightly soft, and that's why we're going to add our spices. 1 tablespoon of chilli powder, about a teaspoon of haldi powder, and a bit more than a teaspoon of mixed curry powder. Keep it mixed. And guys, if you need to add a bit of water so the spices don't burn, go ahead and do so, which I'm going to be doing. And we're going to be doing that a couple of times so the spices get cooked properly. Right guys, I've got 2 garlic cloves here. I'm going to chop them up and add them to the sauce. Right guys, the spices have been cooking for about 5 minutes or so. Now we're going to add the tomato sauce basically. And I've added about, let me see, about 250 grams. There's 500 grams in this one, so I've used half of it, which is 250. Ooh, I'm good at maths. Let that come to the boil, sizzle. Now that's come to the sizzle, we're going to add in 190 grams of tomato and olive stirring through sauce. There we go. That came out easier than I expected. Now guys, to that we're going to add in the tuna chunks. I never make that since my kids have been born. I've never made that, and it's been 22 years I've not made that because they won't have tuna. So I don't want to really just make it for myself. Mix it in properly. Colour looks good, doesn't it? And we're going to cook that for about 3 to 4 minutes like so, and then we're going to add in the pasta. Right guys, it's been a few minutes now. I'm going to add in the pasta and mix it in properly. And whilst mixing it all in, because we put the pasta in now, it's going to be quite dry, we're going to reduce the heat to low. We're going to add the pasta water and another one third of a cup of water and mix. We're gonna add about another half a cup of ketchup and about the same amount of salad cream. Yeah, sounds funny guys, but that's what I used to make it with. And now we're going to add in a handful of chopped parsley. And mix it. Now guys, we're gonna turn off the heat and we're gonna add some grated cheese to it. I'm gonna be adding grated mozzarella cheese, roughly about 1.5 cups, and give it a last mix. Look at that guys, how stringy it is. And here we go guys, our tuna pasta. The way I used to have it when I very first started cooking. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, share, comment, subscribe and the rest. And until next time, bye.